Hi, my name is Andrea. I am an instructor of physics and astronomy here at LCC, and I'm one of the co-advisors for this club. This is now my third year at LCC.
My name is Edgar. I am also a part-time instructor in the biology discipline, also co-advisor of the club. And basically also this is my third year at Lane and so excited to start again the project about the STEM transfer pathway club.
Thanks, Edgar. My name is Jaron. I'm a computer engineering student at OSU now. I was the president and vice president of the club, along with filling some other roles. But I'm here to help move the club forward at LCC.
For this first meeting, this is just an info session, so I was thinking maybe Jaron, you wanted to introduce the club's background a little bit, some of the events that the club has done in the past, and maybe some of the things that you didn't do but thought were interesting for future club members to do.
Right away, what we had a group of about 4 or 5 people who were coming to the meetings, and before the meetings we had LCC speakers come in to sort of give us an update or fill us in on their role at LCC. And then the idea is to get some outside speakers come in. Ideally, we could go to events together and career fairs or college recruitment days or some, stuff like that. Go to it together and motivate each other to do well at the community college and with the goal to transfer. So one of the things that I just did personally was create this website here to just have a place for the club to post their own events or information. And then also I was thinking that this website could be used to promote the other clubs at LCC too. But right now I only have the STEM Transfer Pathway Club website included. And so on this page, it sort of gives a brief overview of the club and its purpose. And then here I have our shared Google Drive posted, and then a calendar of events. So in the past, we've had, let's just go back. Yeah. Thursday meeting, Friday study session. And that's it, just every week meeting twice a week to keep everything moving forward. An example for our meetings, so to keep them structured and within an hour so people don't sort of get off topic, we have agendas that are pretty straightforward. And so we take roll calls, see who showed up, and if there's any new people, we invite them to take the member survey, which gives them a little bit of information about themselves, gives us some information, and then also it has an interest form or list on the survey that lets us know what the new members are interested in doing. Then we'll review minutes, go over any finances. One important aspect of this club is that we are funded by the student activity fee. And so the school has a large sum of money to give out to the clubs as they request. And So anything that this club wants to do that costs money, we can petition the student government to allocate that. Recruiting members is always important for us to begin with, just because it's online, and we haven't had very good outreach online. I think that if we were in person, it would be a lot more attractive for people to join us. But so we always just have recruiting members on the agenda at this point. Here we list some events that were going on throughout the school year. We have a to-do list, some things we're working on, general business, motions and resolutions, remarks, and that's it. So the meetings, they go pretty quickly, and they are pretty highly structured. Whoever is the president of the club would take this agenda template and just fill it in as needed, and then the secretary of the club would take that agenda and make meeting minutes out of it. So let's see, a couple other things. This club is project oriented, and so any member of the club can fill out a project proposal and bring it to the club. So we've had a number of project proposals come to the club, and then we've worked on a few of them. We have the YouTube channel, which, for instance, we're recording this meeting, and so we could potentially put this on the YouTube channel, along with, we were talking about when our speakers come in to do their 10 or 15-minute talk, we can either post that on our YouTube channel or cut it up into question and answer. So that's an ongoing thing. There's the transfer fair. I guess there's quite a lot of them here. The 4J Best After School program was something that would have been really nice for it to work out, and we got pretty far, but just the online aspect, I think, caused, and it was the end of the school year. But so there's a lot of opportunity to get projects started and going. Some of these did cost a little bit, and so we petitioned the student government for the funding. Let's see what else here. Recruitment. We have a bunch of information saved. So things, I don't like to recreate anything that we have already created. So I try to put it into the appropriate folder, like recruitment, any emails that we write, for instance, this interest email for Titan community member invites. If we write something up, we'll just save it. So that way in the future, if we need to write another recruitment email, we can just take a lot of this information and paste it.
So that's a pretty good overview, I think, of some of the past projects, how the meetings have been structured in accordance with the club bylaws. And then, yeah, the drive is very well organized, I think, and it'll be very easy for new officers to take over. And so that's a kind of transition, I guess, to the next topic, which is since all of our club's officers have transferred to four-year schools, we're actually looking for new officers now. We don't necessarily need to do new officer elections during this meeting, although we certainly could. but I was thinking we should have a plan for doing that, maybe by sending out an email on Titan Communities to find interest in officers. So I did put a Google Forms link in the chat, and that takes you to the new member survey. And I just added a question there about whether anyone would be interested in being an officer. So Jaren, if that sounds like a logical thing to you, we can send that link out via Titan Communities after this meeting, because I'm sure there are people who are interested who just weren't able to make it at this time. And so hopefully find folks who are interested in being officers. And if we don't have any, then the club cannot exist. So that's pretty much where we're at now. Any comment on that from Jaren or Edgar or anyone else?
I think also we like to open for questions from Tom and Silky regarding you have any particular questions about the club, or yeah, that may help you to decide to join to the club or think about it.
Also,
sorry,
go ahead, Silky. Oh, I see another person just popped into the meeting, and I just wanted to say hi. I see you, Ian. Welcome.
Hi, thanks.
Yeah, we were just talking about what the club did and in the past, and how right now where we're at is that all the old officers have moved on to OSU. And so we're looking to find new officers for the club, and we're looking for folks who might be interested. And then right now it's just Q&A time. So Silky, go ahead.
I guess my first question was, how many members approximately are there in the club?
Yeah, so right now there are 0 active members. On our Titan Communities, we have approximately 75 interested or students signed up to receive dedicated emails from the club. But as far as active students, there's not too many.
Yeah.
And now what?
Oh, sorry. In the past, there had been, Jaren, I would say, 3 to 5 students at any given time that would be at meetings. So it's been a pretty small group, and partly, this whole thing started during the pandemic and is still all remote. So yeah, still looking for lots of ways to connect people online and get people to meetings.
Now, what about time commitments and duties of officers?
Good question. Jaren, I think you're more equipped to answer that.
Yeah, so the duties they're pretty simple, and really it's what you put into it. The duties of the president should be to preside at all meetings, to attend the council of club meetings. So in order for us as a club to get, we can request funding, specific funding for projects by doing petition for funding or something like that. But if a representative of the club attends council of club meetings, then I think it's $100 per year gets automatically allocated to our club account. And so I think it's also the council of clubs is like this conglomerate of club representatives that are supposed to lobby for the clubs. But so it's pretty important and that's also once a week for about an hour. And I just have the president down to attend the council of club meetings, but really it could be any representative of the club. Also, the president calls special meetings, sees that officers and communities do their work, and acts as the default member of all committees or official. The vice president should act as the president, assist the president, to have charge of and instruct all future members, and to act as the publicity chair for recruitment. Secretary should record all proceedings and post them publicly, take attendance, and open all emails addressed to the club. The treasurer should work with the president to create a budget, pay any bills, control the school's bank account for the club, and keep the budget balanced. Officers are elected for one school term, and so there's three elections, and then the summer. But so ultimately, what happens is whoever is in the leadership position of the club sort of determines the direction, and you can ask other students or members what they would like to see the club doing. But what I was sort of into was bringing in speakers, and I would have liked to do events together. At that time, it wasn't possible, but I think nowadays we can get together in person. Yeah, so it's really not, I mean, as far as essential duties, it's just to make the weekly meetings happen. If the meetings are happening every week and there's very little beyond just attending the meetings, that's okay, because in the future it could pick up, but there needs to be some sort of like baseline minimum. Otherwise, there's a lot to pick up once people are interested.
Yeah, I think what you said, Jaren, it is what you make of it, and that's true of any student club. It's always under the control of the current members and officers. The bylaw and the Constitution are what they are now, but these are things that are editable by a vote of the current officers and members. So yeah, I would say, the STEM Transfer Pathway Club is only a year old. It was founded for a specific purpose with a specific vision, which is what Jaren was interested in. But really we want it to be a community. I'm talking from the advisor perspective here. We wanted it to be a community where students interested in STEM can talk to each other and find community at LCC and meet people at the places that they're interested in transferring to as well. So just trying to weave together just connections between students, because I think those social ties are really important in making sure that you're successful in transferring and that you're set up for success once you do leave LCC. So really any activities that help to meet those goals are what I'm interested in advising for. Like, that's the reason I'm here. So whatever that means for what the future officers decide to do is good by me. So I don't know, Ian, if you were here when I dropped this link to the new member survey in the chat, but I'm going to send that one more time. And maybe I will send it on Titan Communities as well, so that folks, I know there were other folks who were interested in coming today that aren't here because they're on our Titan Communities and they just joined.
Mm-hmm.
Other questions or comments?
At least for myself,
what are you looking for in this club? Why are you interested?
There has been a distinct lack at OSU, in my feeling, for support for eCampus students, which I am, especially in the clubs department. OSU is great as far as instruction and so on and so forth, but networking and getting contacts and communicating with other students has been kind of lacking. Just last night I tried to join a club meeting. Their Zoom didn't have a microphone. I couldn't hear anybody, and then it cut out halfway through. So I was like, cool, I guess I won't be going to that club anymore, or maybe I'll try again next week. I didn't feel welcomed. And so looking for that sort of community to connect with, to network, to talk about next steps, whether it's four-year college or career ideas, or that's kind of what I'm kind of hoping for, I guess, and wondering if this is the area to get that.
Yeah, we definitely could. So like Jaren mentioned, we've had guest speakers before, and when we hosted the STEM the transfer fair, we got students who are, I think we're calling them like student ambassadors, to come and do a panel and talk about what they did, how they, like, what was their journey from community college to four-year, and what are they doing now, and what are their plans, and some of the advice that they had for future students. So I think hosting guest speakers like that is one really good way to get those conversations rolling. And then I don't know, Jaren or Edgar, if you had other examples of what we've done in the past that are kind of along those lines.
Yeah, I think like one was like from the students panel that we hosted last spring, I guess. Yeah, so we had also people from OSU and UFO, and they expressed their interest in helping communicating students at Lane. So they commented that they are aware about like those broken links or pathways that exist, but the only way for them to know more about that is to basically these communities, right? When we are expressing about, oh, this is not working properly, something needs to be done. So we have that also, that experience. So we are not starting from zero, the club, even though the officers, they are not anymore a part of the Lane, but we have also some connections with people already, and we can help to bring those people here and to basically to talk with us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Tom, I think we definitely share your goal. And one of the other ways that I just remembered, we've been talking to student groups from the U of O, especially, just because I know people there, and so we are well networked there. So the Society of Physics students at the U of O, they were at our transfer fair to kind of talk about what opportunities existed, and they're willing to connect with us here at LCC too. And so we could go, to the UO Society of Physics students meetings. Even if you're not interested in physics, it's still something that you could go and see, okay, this is, they're doing a career workshop on physics. Maybe that's something I'd be interested in checking out. There's also another student group called the UO Alliance for Diversity in Science and Engineering. And they told us they're willing to host virtual lab tours where undergraduate or graduate students would basically give us a lab tour and show us like what they do in their research field. So that could be an opportunity. And I think they're flexible to doing lots of different things in partnership with us here. So that's something that, the future officers and members of this club could talk to that group directly about.
Yeah, taking a field trip to a University of Oregon lab, that would be cool.
And I would very much like to have some sort of connection with the University of Oregon Society for Physics students. I was trying to figure out a way of getting, I guess, kind of hooked up with them. And if this could help facilitate that, that would be awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's one of the other kind of visions that the club could have is, there's lots of different majors that are possible, but at LCC, there's probably not enough individual students to form like an LCC Society of Physics students, for example. So this club can be kind of an umbrella for students who are interested, and then we can definitely connect because those clubs are out there. There's UOSPS, there's OSU has an astronomy club, and I'm sure there are other clubs for biology and chemistry out there or other fields.
Yeah. So, you can definitely just be a member as well, and bring your ideas or time to the club. So, and then Andrea and Edgar are the club advisors, and Silk, is it? Silky and Tom are interested students. So
Yeah, I wanted also to add that we not only host speakers from OSU and U of O or from other areas, but also we invited the previous year from Lane, from LCC. So for everyone to be aware about the support that exists already at Lane, and also for them at Lane to know the things that they need to improve. So the honors classes, the different student associations, and different resources. So that's also what we have done in the past, but this is basically according to what you are interested in having doing the clubs. It's basically you build that club based on your interests.